Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we're gonna try to get a great Strat tone. Okay, here I have my Strat. This is a Pro American Strat, Pro 2 if I'm not mistaken. And right now I'm on the Katana on the Crunch channel. By the way, this is a Boss Katana MKII. And there's nothing fancy going on right here. All EQs are off. I mean, I can put them off, but they are doing nothing because everything is at noon. No booster, anything on effects, there's nothing going on, so everything is turned off. About EQ, let's put this around noon as well, and without the variation mode right now. And on the Crunch channel, so it sounds like this. I'm using my Sennheiser E906 into my sweet spot on the Katana. I can take a picture for you, and it sounds like this. Just by itself, it sounds great. I could end the video here, just add a little bit of reverb and you're good to go. But we're trying to simulate here something, and I'm using right now the middle pickup, which is, I don't know, rarely used on Strats. I don't know why. Much warmer here. With a bit of distortion to it, and here on the bridge, on the middle, it also sounds good. But we're trying to go for a kind of a Fender tone, okay? It has less mids. So we can start to dial a little bit back the gain, because I don't want too much gain. So the signal went a little bit off in terms of volume, and I can compensate in two ways here, or I can go to an EQ and compensate the level. This is one of the tricks that you could do to level all your patches. Just use the level on your last EQ. Could be a parametric, could be a G10 EQ. It doesn't matter. As long as it's amp out, it's just leveling your patches here. Okay, if I put this on 10. Oh, it's disengaged, sorry. It's too much now for the audio interface. So, like this, maybe it's cool. I think we've lost a little bit of bass. If I put this like it was, a little bit of body got lost, okay? So we have to compensate for that. So let's crank a little bit the volume here. On the neck pickup. There's not too much bass, at least here in my room, and amp is right up the wall, so it should have more bass. It's like being closed back, right? I'm gonna try the variation mode just to see how it sounds. I'm gonna try it on and off. There you go. In this case, we're losing a lot with variation, so let's leave it alone as it is. I'm gonna check my chain. We are here as I wish to be, because I want to use mod, booster, and effects before the amp, okay? And right now, we're gonna go here into our EQ and just try to take a little bit of mids, or else it will sound more like a Marshall. Okay, so I'm gonna do it like this, not too much. We want to retain that eye hand. That's very, very important if you're going to simulate a Fender amp. Usually what I do here is go around at 5 when I'm using more gain and stuff like that, because the rest is just fizziness. But using a Strat like this one, for now, I'm going to leave it at flat because I want that sparkle high end. Now what I've noticed is there's not too much bass, so I'm going to increase the bass here where it says low gain, just like 5 dBs. Off. On. Now you have more body. You can go to the contour mode and try to get the same kind of result, similar to a prefix EQ, but right now, let's say like this. Now, of course, if we put it louder, you're going to have more bass, and probably you want to low cut a little bit, like around here, because really you don't need anything below that. And if you're playing with a band, it's just, or recording for yourself, it's just doing basically nothing. Okay, even so, I want a little bit more bass around probably here. Let's try out, not this one, but around here. Couple of dBs, like 2 dBs, and the low mid Q is totally open, so the Q is totally open, okay? Let's just increase a lot to see. Now this is too much. This would be to cut something that was really annoying. So I'm gonna try that with different frequencies, like 160 Hertz. It seems to be the ideal here, but not too much. Just 2 decibels for now. And now let's go to our EQ, because why not? Neck pickup. Okay, with the moves we've done so far, I feel like we have a little bit too much mids. So what I'm gonna do here on this EQ, don't forget we have 2 EQs and more if we need to. And I'm going to around probably 600 Hertz and take like 2 decibels, okay, with the Q totally wide open. I'm gonna take a lot so you guys can see the difference, like 10 dBs. You have a sense of decrease in volume, but it's just the mids going down. But I'm gonna do it like -4. And now move around, like if I put this on 16, it's a very narrow cut, so it's only gonna cut that specific frequency. I don't want that. I wanna leave it like this. Now without EQ, seems more a little bit muddy. Now here. Even so, I believe that if you put it on a bridge pickup, there's some fizziness up here, so I'm gonna cut it to 10 and leave it like that. You can always use your tone control, of course. And I want to make sure this patch sounds good as you move your volume as well. Of course, you're going to lose volume, but it sounds also good, because if you have a lot of more distortion to it. Or if you're playing with a band and it's really loud like I used to do, and I have just this tone. This will be enough for me, okay? All right, so right now what we have here more, the treble, it's here. I'm gonna decrease just a little bit. Now you can choose your cab resonance, and I'm gonna try the modern one. We have more mid-range, at least here in the room. I honestly, for most of this type of tones, I prefer the vintage cab. Now let's try to engage the variation mode and see how different it sounds. It's funny how it seems like we've lost some distortion or body, and that leads to our ears hear something with less distortion. So they both sound good, but there's more body to it, so I'm gonna leave it like that. Now, presence, I'm gonna increase the presence here a little bit more so we can compensate for this high cut. We're gonna try here on the bridge pickup. I never liked Strat bridge pickup, second position. course, impossible to play here with this microphone right here in my face. It's sounding really good for now. On the fifth position, fourth. You should make sure to have a great sound before adding reverb or other effects, or else, like someone said, mixing engineer, a good reverb can make a shitty sound like heaven. You know what I mean? So basically, we're trying to do that without any effects, modulation effects and stuff like that. It's sounding good. So I'm gonna try to add a little bit booster, not a tube screamer, a clean boost. Then let me put this at noon. Is exactly like this. Just engage it and see what difference does it make. Honestly, not much or anything special, because you have to drive it a little bit. And I like the clean boost because I want to maintain my original tone. I don't want to put like a tube screamer in front, because I know if I drive like a tube screamer, all the body goes away. Okay, like if I put it like this, tube screamer. Sounds good, but take a listen of the bass. On the bass, I mean, without no. More fully rounded tone. Although right now, I'm gonna be honest with you, the bass didn't went away like I thought it would go. So this kind of works. Probably with the variation mode, the bass would go away. But it's adding lots of distortion and artifacts that I really don't like. I would go here and change the tone for a different purpose for this. For a major tone like that, you know? Much darker. But it's not our goal, so I'm gonna put this where it was, and I'm gonna go with a clean boost, just so if I need to drive a little bit more the amp without touching the gain knob, okay? Better now. So I'm gonna put this like so and see what happens. Okay, immediately when you increase the drive, there's an increase in the mids as well. So there's gotta be some balance here, you know? Check it out. And the overall sound gets a little bit more muddy, which is not ideal to record or play with the band. Even if I take out the bottom hand here, it's going to be more drastic. I don't want that. So we have to be very careful with this kind of moves. So right now, I'm happy with the tone, because it's very dynamic. I can do it like push it hard, play it hard, and also retain all that clarity. Noise suppression, it's around here, fairly low, because you don't want it to cut it like this, crazy stuff. You don't need it. And for me, it's good here. Okay, but right now I'm going to EQ number 2, and also in amp out, and I'm going to take care of that added mids that we have now. And I'm kind of wondering if it's not this frequency, because this is 315 and one of those frequencies that doesn't sound really good. In most applications at least. So if I increase it here and put low mid Q like that, I can find it. Maybe here, so I'm going to put the Q like this and take a couple of decibels, like 2 to begin with. More 4. We're starting to retain the original tone again, just a little more drive, and open up the Q as well. Without it, the muddiness came again, so great as it is. Nothing to do here. I'm gonna high cut anything else. I think it's great. Let's do it in the second position. And on the bridge pickup. This on the bridge pickup is kind of a taste thing. I really don't like to use the bridge pickup on Strats. Most of the time, I don't use it. Not that it sounds bad. It can be very aggressive, you know, especially on solid state amps if you have a lot of fizziness going on. I'm going to increase a little bit my noise reduction threshold here and release super fast. Because on the second position, okay. Now we can use something that I like to use, which is a compression to even the tones, and you'll be able to. It gotta be a mild thing, because if it's not, you're gonna notice when you play a strum a chord, you're gonna use it like the sound coming again. So if I engage this right now as it is, it's gonna sound very low. But and first and foremost, you should have your compressor, when it's engaged, the volume should be the same as if it was disengaged. So we have a fat compressor. Let's go for a mild compressor here. The tone will be, I don't want to mess with the tone here, so I want to be like that. Although it does mess with the tone, even being, come on guy, even being at 0. Now I'm going to increase the levels to match everything as it was. Plus 10, okay. Here, I think it's faster this way. Okay, and here, plus 10, plus 1. So everything is at noon. First and foremost, we have more distortion. Check it out, without it. And volume. So, controls about the compressor. I'm gonna reduce the sustain. This increases the distortion. Now this is not mandatory because we're already losing some tone. This is just if you want to even out everything when you, and then pick hard and pick a little bit more softly. When it's not engaged, there's more variation in volume. It's very subtle, but it's there, especially if you're recording or playing live. So let's engage again. We're definitely losing something, so I'm going to increase a couple of decibels here. But it seems to me like distortion is increasing. Yeah, and the tone is a little bit rolled off. I'm going to pull down the attack because I want it to be faster. Okay, let's check out right now without it first. Put a neck pickup so you can see how the bass is responding. And also the IN. Take a listen. It's taking away a little bit of the IN, so I'm going to go to the tone knob and try to compensate for that. Without it, with it. Yeah, it gave us a little bit more bass, but it's not bad. Even so, I'm not really happy with this thing, you know. Usually I prefer to have it off, but anyways. Okay, a couple of dBs here really did make the difference. Now in mod, we have our graphic EQ or whatever you want to put here, right? I have a graphic EQ because sometimes I want to shape the tone before the amp, but usually I use it as a booster. I have a video on that, so if I put this like around +6, we are increasing the front end of the amp, putting it more gain, right? Let's see if you can take out a little bit of some frequencies here. You gotta be careful with this one, just baby steps. Because this not only will increase the frequency that you select, but it will boost it as well in terms of distortion, okay? Because it's in front of the amp. Now I don't want to mess here with this. I think this was probably enough. So a little bit here as well. Let's see on the second position. Okay, we can increase 1 decibel here. Sounds good. Let me just check out with the variation mode because probably we'll turn everything upside down. It's funny, in this case, the sensor I have, it's giving less distortion, removing some body. But it's not as drastic as if I was using more distortion. Even still, I prefer it like this. I'm gonna just roll down a little bit here, the mids, just a little bit. Stay where you are. Now let's check out the contour. If there's anything we can do with that. So basically, frequency shift will be at noon. If you can put it at noon. And type 1. Without it. Now with it, there's a boost in the mid frequencies. If we increase the frequency shift, it reduces it, but honestly, I don't like it. Let's try number 2. Not this knob here. This one, number 2. No. I don't want to mess around with the frequency shifter. I use this a lot of times, and for now it's kind of sounding good. Off. On. Kind of gives it a little bit more character, but if I do it like this, I think we lose high end. Let me check it out. Like this, we lose high end. Yeah. And we want it to shine more. I just want to make sure it doesn't introduce anything weird to the tone. They're very subtle, these differences, but you have to be very aware of them. Use your ears. Okay, same thing now. It's not the same thing, especially when you start here. We lose some highs without it. Let's go for the second position. Without it. This makes a huge difference, and sometimes I don't know what's best. Because we're losing something here or adding something, kind of weird. Let's go for the bridge pickup full. This should be more drastic, I guess. Yeah, so the contour here narrows a little bit the overall tone. It can be good for certain applications. And the last one is something that I want to go to. It's really synth sounding. But anyway, let's try once again this, because this is going to be hard. Now we did engage. Yeah, it's giving some body, so I like it. I'm going here to mod, and I'm going to decrease a little bit here around minus 5 dBs on 16K. We should try in every pickup position. See how it sounds. There's a little bit of fizziness at the top end, but we don't want to get rid of that totally, because then it will lose life. Now, the booster, one of the boosters. Okay, let's stay with this one, and let's go and start adding reverb, because I want to try out. I'm gonna try it right now, which is basically the center overdrive. Really sounds good, but without it first. Be aware as well when you engage the booster, unless it's on purpose for having more volume, you want to make sure it's on the same volume. Let's just contrast it, compare it to the center. It's giving a little more body, but taking some of the high end. I don't want to use it right now. It's more of a rhythm tone, something like that for now. So let's go for the reverb. And we're going to go with a plate. As you see, I'm eye-cutting a lot here. And for you guys to really listen to this well on a recording, it got to be like this. If it's on, of course. Reverbs, when are recorded from the amp, they're not very audible unless you put them really high, right? Just don't put too much, or else your sound will disappear. So a couple of things we can do here. First, remove the filters. Now we have all spectrum of reverb from 20 to 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, which is not very good. I don't like it, and it's just messing up with our low end. So I really go high on this one, on the low cut. So because it's nothing, basically doing nothing down there. Now the high cut, if you take a listen, and I'm going to increase this on purpose and increase the density on purpose, there's a lot of high end. Seems like it brings out all the fizziness of the sound that you don't want. So let's put this around 4. Remember, it's really loud, so it's maxed out so you guys can hear. And like this crazy. Never ends. So you don't really need too much of this. Density, I'll leave it around here. And now a tasting. Sounding good to me. Don't forget, this is not to get like high gain or stuff like that. And I'm gonna cut it even a little more. It's kind of dark. And now let's go for our delay, because why not? We have a pen delay. We don't want that. We want, like, in this case, a tape echo, because I think there's some modulation to it. Let's try it out. First, put it like this. And when I do this kind of tones, I put like milliseconds really high, because I want it to be a slow delay. If that makes sense. Here we don't have the filter that we have on the reverb. Plus, there are some other boss units we can pre-duck the delay, so it doesn't come really when you're playing, just after. So we'll have like tape echo, and then let's try the analog. This is going to be more of a rhythm tone. I don't want too much of it. Yeah, cool. I'm just going to increase the reverb because I want to abuse it, you know? I think it's sounding pretty good without it. If you re-record this via USB, it will sound probably better because everything will be in stereo. What I could do here, there's a delay. I don't know which one is. This one does it, but I found that we were missing some bass, but let me go here and put like this. I'm picking really softly now. Let me just increase a little bit the gain. reacts great to your picking dynamic. And I think this is the end of the video because it sounds great, sounding really great. I love it. And I'm gonna write it. So it's Strat tone because I'm really good at giving names. Okay, let me put like this, probably easy to identify. JN from Juca Nery Strat, and write it. Okay, now I'm gonna share this tone with you guys. So check out the link below to download it. And let me know how it sounds on your room, because basically this will be affected by your room acoustics and stuff that you have, and your guitar, of course, and your playing, your fingers, everything. But right now here it's sounding great, and I wish I had the master down there a little bit louder, because I think it's very vintage kind of tone, very warm, and yeah, it's one of the ultimate Strat tones that you can get on the Boss Katana MKII. So guys, many thanks for watching this long kind of tutorial, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That will help a lot, and I really appreciate you for that, because most of you guys that watch my videos are not subscribed. I don't know why. It doesn't click a thing, it's just subscribe it. That's what I do for everybody else, to help them out, so help me out here as well. And if you have some requests for tones or stuff and ideas you want to get, let me know to do future patches. Just write down on the comments and I'll try to read them all and reply them all. So guys, stay safe and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.